dual spraying exercise 2011, the governor of CRL, Alhaji Ganyi Toure, welcomed delegates to his region ahead of the landmark launching, saying that the mass turnout of district leaders and the masses speaks volume of their commitment to support the anti-malaria crusade. He admonished them to open wide their doors during the spraying period in order to help guarantee a malaria-free country before next year. This vector control exercise, about to be launched according to the Regional Director of Health Services, Baba Njai, forms part of a string of control mechanisms undertaken by government to combat malaria in the country. The results so far, he continued, have led to a drastic reduction of malaria, especially among pregnant women and children. But one stumbling block is resisting efforts at minimizing infant and maternal mortality attributed to malaria. The countrywide indoor residual spraying exercise was first launched in the Central River region in 2009. And this man, then the Green Youth Mobilizer, was largely credited for the success of the exercise by voluntarily mobilizing young people for the spraying. As the Deputy Governor of Lower River Region, Majanko Samarsa, is now urging the young volunteers to deliver the goods diligently to the satisfaction of their president. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare, in her launching statement, described the exercise as an important course in their attempt to combat malaria-related morbidity and mortality in the country and wipe out a formidable threat to the country's economic growth and development.
It's definitely a silent killer, with 1 million deaths and over 300 million reported each year globally. Over 90% of these deaths occur in Africa. Malaria kills 3,000 African children every day, implying that the African child dies from malaria every 30 seconds.
She commended President Jammeh for his love for the Gambian people by procuring for them a pesticide that has the potency to eradicate the life-threatening disease. This, coupled with other strategies adopted by her ministry, are yielding excellent results, much to the admiration of the citizenry.
The integrated and comprehensive implementation of these strategies throughout the country has contributed to a drastic reduction of malaria burden in the Gambia. The CFO had said it, Director of Health Service had said it. Admissions due to malaria has dropped by 74%, and malaria attributable deaths has also been reduced by 90%.
Minister Baji concluded by emphasizing that government's ultimate aim is to eradicate malaria in the country, starting with reduction. But this, he continued, can only be realized with the genuine support of the citizenry. The Deputy Governor of CRR, Malang Chebo Kamara, delivering the vote of thanks, heaped praise on the National Malaria Control Program for making the citizens' concern their priority and urged them to keep on keeping on for the benefit of Gambians. Abu Bakr Dabo, GRTS.
That you can also follow the day stories and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We'll be back with more stories from outside the Gambia after the break.
Extreme Recharge.
AfriCell has done it again with the extremely highest bonus on the lowest recharge.
That's right. That's the new AfriCell e-voucher credit recharge.
Now recharge between $5 and $40 and get a 25% bonus. Not only can you recharge as low as $5, yes, you heard me. Recharge as low as $5 and you will get a 25% bonus.
Extremely the highest bonus in the Gambia.
Extremely affordable.
Extremely low.
That's the AfriCell Extreme Recharge.
For more info, call 111.
Welcome back. Floodwaters in Pakistan have reportedly killed more than 200 people. The floodwaters are yet to recede and the lives of 5.5 million people, especially children, have been hit by the monsoon rains. Although Islamabad and other aid agencies say they are doing all they could do about the situation, many of the victims maintain that any help they may have is being swept away. Details in this report.
Before the rains came, they had little. Now they've moved onto the roads to save even less. We're heading into an area devastated by weeks of monsoon rain towards some of the 5 million Pakistanis who've been affected by floods. The village of Shabek Lud lost the houses once here when the rains began, the mud rising this high up on the mosque. And now, at the end of the rains, the village lost these. Some lives broken others lost. It was in the collapse of this house that a man died at the start of the rains, but the recovery that's already beginning here is people coping for themselves. They say they have not seen a single government official since the rains began. During our visit, no sign of help from outside. The government and aid agencies say they're doing all they can, but here the fear's simple. With our crops submerged, how will we eat? Nobody's come to our village, he says. We're starving to death. We've been catching diseases. No one's come to treat us.
All my crops are finished. We'll die of hunger. My kids don't have a home, and we're living in a school nearby.
I'm scared because our houses have fallen and everything's been washed away.
In last year's floods, their village was largely spared, never imagining the same rains could come again and take everything.
French President Nicolas Sarkozy and the British Prime Minister David Cameron have travelled to Libya as first foreign leaders to visit the country since the toppling of Muammar Gaddafi. Their trip may be significant, but the battle there is far from over. Gaddafi loyalists are still in control of cities of Bani Walid, Sirte and the southern city of Sabha. Earlier today, a fleet of about 500 vehicles driven by anti-Gaddafi forces traveled to Sabha with machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades for what may be a major offensive against pro-Gaddafi's stronghold. Let's go with this report for more.
A timeless desert scene until a pickup arrives. The calm and quiet of the Sahara has been disturbed by the arrival of a force heading to loyalist strongholds in the far south. But this is a fighting force in the making. They're learning, literally, as they go along. In the early morning cool, Ahmed, formerly in Gaddafi's army, is giving a lesson in how to use a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. Everyone gets a chance to shoulder it, get used to the feel of it. It's only a matter of days, at the most, before they'll be in battle. Ahmed concedes it's a tall order to cram months of training into a few hours during the journey to the front. Of course, he says, but over the next day or two, we'll try to teach them. What follows are more lessons in the art of the heavy machine gun, how to load it, how to fire it. And then an anti-aircraft gun. Not everyone is new at this. 61-year-old former soldier Mohammed Arabi can chant and cheer with the best of them. The plan is to try to negotiate a peaceful surrender in the largest southern city, Sabha. All indications so far, however, point to a bitter fight for the south. It could be Gaddafi's last stand, warns Commander Ahmed Hasnawi. Their biggest concentration is in the south, he tells me. We even have information they want to set up an independent entity to be ruled by all the figures of the old regime. It's not all about fighting, however. A large group of doctors and nurses has also come along, with trucks and ambulances full of medicine. And not just the usual material for battle wounds. There's a humanitarian side to this mission. Dr. Hatem Abu Bakr was a car dealer in Tripoli before the revolution. He says he made more money selling cars than practicing medicine.
There are two missions. One part of the mission is to keep all the people with us in the front line safe. The other part is that Sabha is now closed since 1 month. And I think all the stocks are near to zero.
Most essential is water. They've brought thousands of bottles. In this heat, dehydration can be deadlier than a bullet. By midday, the force finally starts to move.
Now they're finally moving out, but it's still a long way to go. More than 300 kilometers to the front lines outside Sabha.
It will be a long, hot, and difficult journey. Ben Wiedemann, CNN.
We now take our second break. We'll be right back.
Yalla dik na gis nga Diamond Properties ñoo indi xewal yot nañ la bayil bu ma la waxe nga may tudde ni ay nit dina la ray de bi dina la ray xaral ma wax la wa baax gis nga ñi ma la tuddal ni fañ génné raful pour joxe ketab lëmm ket go xamné dafa am 3 master bedroom am Amat kër ga fan la nekk mu nga Diamond Estate nekk all yundum déedéet kay ñaareeli pire bi xam nga lan la déedéet oto bu ñoo wax seri jeep 4x4 bu bees tàq yaa koy daaji si mbuus ñetteeli price gi